Part 3. Why people stay in toxic relationships. Many people do not stay in toxic relationships because they enjoy suffering. They stay because the relationship has become psychologically connected to emotional survival. One of the most misunderstood questions in psychology is this: why doesn't the person just leave? From the outside, toxic relationships may appear obvious, but inside the relationship, the emotional experience is often far more complicated, especially because many toxic relationships do not begin with emotional pain. They often begin with emotional intensity. At the beginning, the person may feel deeply understood, emotionally valued, desired, important, or intensely connected. The affection can feel unusually powerful. Some emotionally manipulative relationships involve intense reassurance, attention, affection, or emotional idealization early in the relationship. And for someone who struggles with loneliness, insecurity, emotional neglect, or fear of abandonment, this emotional intensity can feel deeply healing. The person may begin feeling, finally someone understands me. Finally, I feel emotionally safe. Finally, I feel important to someone. And this creates powerful emotional attachment very quickly. But over time, the emotional dynamic often changes. The affection becomes inconsistent. One moment, the relationship feels loving and emotionally close, and the next moment, distant, cold, critical, or emotionally confusing. And this emotional unpredictability affects the nervous system deeply. Psychologists believe that inconsistent emotional reward can strengthen attachment through intermittent reinforcement. The brain begins emotionally chasing the return of affection, reassurance, or emotional closeness. This is why many people remain emotionally attached even while suffering, not because they enjoy the pain, but because they become psychologically attached to the emotional relief that occasionally interrupts the pain. The mind keeps remembering who the person was at the beginning, how emotionally safe the relationship once felt, and the hope that the emotional closeness will fully return again. This creates emotional confusion. The relationship hurts, yet the person still feels emotionally unable to leave. Fear also plays a major role. Some people fear being alone, losing emotional attachment, starting over, or never feeling loved again. Others may unconsciously believe they do not deserve healthier love, especially if earlier emotional experiences involved criticism, emotional neglect, conditional affection, or unstable relationships. Psychologists studying attachment theory have found that early emotional experiences strongly shape what feels emotionally familiar later in life. And unfortunately, emotionally familiar does not always mean emotionally healthy. Many people inside toxic relationships also begin losing trust in their own emotional perception. Constant emotional inconsistency, invalidation, criticism, or manipulation slowly creates self-doubt. The person begins asking, oh, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe things will improve. And over time, emotional clarity becomes psychologically difficult. Carl Jung once wrote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And perhaps one of the deepest psychological truths about toxic relationships is this: people often remain attached, not because the relationship consistently feels good, but because they continue hoping the person will become who they were during the moments that once felt emotionally safe. In the next video, we will explore how to heal from toxic relationships.